welcome to the Japan vlog. It is 3 a.m. right now and I'm about to leave for the airport, but I want to show my outfit. So I just have the Cincinnati Bengals sweater, some trouser pants, and then some black booties. And then I also have my bomber jacket. But I'm all packed up. I have this bag, which is normally my practice bag, my carry-on, which has all my uniforms, this big bag, and yeah, I'm so excited. I can't believe I'm going to Japan. Like, what? But yeah, my Uber is almost here, and my flight takes off at 6 a.m. I am meeting the Colts cheerleader, her name's Whitney, and then a Falcons cheerleader, and her name's Peyton. And those are the two girls that are on tour with me. And yeah, I'm gonna try and vlog as much as I can, even though it's probably gonna be a little hard, but we're gonna try my best. So yeah, we made it to Japan. So it has been quite the travel day. It is currently 9 p.m. here in Japan, which means that it's 7 a.m. in Ohio right now. And I left for the airport yesterday around 3:30 a.m. So I've been up for around 28 hours travel day. And I just got to the hotel. Let me give a tour. So you walk in, and then we have this cute little living room area where I've already unpacked my suitcase, and a cute little kitchen. And then here's all my stuff. Here's our cards that I need to sign, and we're gonna rotate through. There's like 5 packs of these that we have to sign. So that will be for the kids clinic tomorrow in the meet and greet. And then you come this way, and here's my bathroom. Super cute. We're staying at the Misawa Inn on base, so yeah. So look how cute these bags are that my tour mate Peyton got us. Me and Whitney, the other girl who I'm touring with. It's like a cute little travel bag. So it just has a bunch of different travel goodies. And that was so sweet and thoughtful. I love how it has the plane and the football. Okay, so I feel like I'm just kind of rambling and I look so bad right now. So I think I'm gonna shower and go to bed. But I just want to check in that we landed, and I'm so exhausted. I've literally been wearing these eyelashes for like 26 hours. So I need to wash my face and go to bed. But yes, we made it. Alright, hi you guys, good morning from Japan. It's 8:41 a.m., which means it is 6:41 back home. But today we have the kids camp and a meet and greet and visiting the units. So yeah, I'm gonna try and film on my phone as much as I can. But let's have a great day. Alright, hi. I'm clearly not in Japan anymore. I'm back home. It's March 3rd, so it's been about a month since my trip. And I've had some time to reflect, and I don't really know how much of this I vlogged. I think I literally vlogged me traveling there, and then maybe the first day, maybe. I don't really remember. I just know I didn't really film much. Which, to be fair, it was very hard since it was a work trip. I didn't really have any time to like whip out the camera and film what I was actually doing because I was in uniform and like technically working while in Japan. So I still wanted to post something because I still wanted to be able to look back on this. So I thought that I could just go through each day and kind of talk about it. I wrote in my diary, my notebook, so I have that to look back on, but I also want this video just to like show pictures and stuff. So let's just start from the very beginning. So I left on February 5th, 2026. And what did I have the night before? Oh my gosh, I had something the night before. Maybe I didn't, but I was up really late and I didn't go to bed till, well, I just know that I was packing late. I'm the type of person where I need to like for game days, I need to be able to check my bag in the morning and at night to make sure I have everything. So literally when I woke up at 1:30 a.m. on February 5th, I had to make sure I had my full uniform before I zipped my bag to leave. Anyway, so I got to the airport around 4:30 a.m. because my flight took off at 6, I think. And I actually got to see one of my teammates, Devin, at the airport. She was flying to South Korea and I was flying to Japan, but I was flying to Atlanta first. So we weren't on the same flights, but I got to see her in the morning before we left in Cincinnati. And then, like I said, I flew from Cincinnati to Atlanta and I met both the girls that I was on tour with in Atlanta airport right before we boarded our flight to Japan. So that was a lot of fun. And Peyton, who was on the Falcons, she gifted me and Whitney a little like travel care bag. And I just thought that was so cute. I'm really sad that I didn't think of that first, but that was the sweetest thing ever. Like, we both got there and she's like, I have a gift for you guys. And I was like, oh my gosh, I wish I got you a gift. But whenever I go visit her, I will be bringing gifts, don't worry. And then, yeah, my flight to Japan was actually not fun because we boarded and then we had to sit on the plane for like 45 minutes just sitting there. And then we taxied out to like take off and then they were like, actually there's something wrong with the plane, and we had to go back and wait there sitting just on the plane for another hour. So my 14-hour flight turned into 16 hours because I was just sitting there for 2 hours on the plane when we weren't even moving. So that was not fun, but I was on the window and then there was no one in the middle and then there was a girl in the aisle. So I at least had a little bit of room, but that wasn't great. So my flight was from Atlanta to Tokyo. And once we landed in Tokyo, we had another flight that had to take us to Misawa, Japan, which was another hour or an hour and a half flight. And since our plane was delayed by 2 hours, we almost missed that flight. So there was a guy standing there with a paper, like with our names, because he knew we had to catch this flight. And we had to go through 2 different customs, which I've never had to do before. Like, I've flown internationally, so I kind of know how to get through customs. And I thought it was weird that we had to go through them twice. And then I had to pick up my checked bag and then recheck it. And it was just a crazy mess because we had to also meet our tour manager, Gina, in the Tokyo airport. And she's been waiting there for obviously 2 hours because she got there before us because she was coming from Seattle. And yeah, so then she found us and she's like, girls, we have to go this way. And we're like, well, this guy has our names on this paper and he's telling us to go with him. But like, since she wasn't on our flight, he couldn't like take her with him, I guess. I don't know, it was this whole thing. And we were like, well, we're all gonna stick together because we're not gonna leave each other behind. And if we miss our flight, we'll figure it out. But thankfully, we talked to other people and they actually held the flight for us. So that was very nice. We were literally sprinting through the airport. I was breaking a sweat. I had like my heavy checked bag with me and my carry-on and my backpack, and we were literally all 3 of us sprinting through the airport with this other worker who's like trying with her iPad, like trying to hold the plane or whatever. And yeah, they checked our bags at the gate and we got on, and it was only delayed by like 10 minutes, so it wasn't even bad. But they were all so nice and helped us get our flight. And then once we made it to the Misawa airport, which first of all is the smallest airport I've ever been in. It's literally only one gate. You walk on and off the flight, like smallest airport I've ever seen. And also, fun fact, where you land and take off, that like what's the word of that? You know, like the the runway, I guess. It's a part of the US military base, and you have to go through the gate to get through the like to the commercial side of the airport, which is where we were coming in and out of, which is actually a really cool fun fact, I thought. But anyway, we got to Misawa. Our tour managers and everyone was waiting for us, and they took us to one of those roundabout sushi places where it like zooms through and like stops at your table, and we were having so much fun with that. We were just like ordering a bunch of stuff. I didn't know what I was ordering, and I'm not really good with chopsticks, and that was the first night, and I was really struggling, and I was like, oh my gosh, I just met these 3 other girls literally today and I can't hold chopsticks. So that was a little embarrassing, but it's funny now because they're so sweet and they're like my best friends now. And by the end of the trip, I was good at chopsticks because I'd use them for every meal, so no biggie. And then basically we just went back to the hotel, checked in, and we were all so tired. It was like 10 o'clock at this point, and I just went to bed and prepared for a very busy second day. So for day 2, I think I vlogged in the morning, and I think that's the only thing I vlogged of the entire trip, so sorry about that. But this day was so much fun. We started out with a kids clinic, which I think there were over 150 girls. I think there were almost 200 girls there, and little boys. There were a few little boys there too at this kids clinic that we got to teach. So that was so much fun. There were a bunch of military kids, and then there were some Japanese cheer groups that also joined our clinic, which was so fun. They were all in their matching uniforms, pink uniforms with their pom-poms, and that just made me so happy. And what made it even more special is throughout the trip, a lot of the parents would come up to us and be like, the kids wouldn't stop talking about the cheer clinic. They said this was the highlight that they've had in months. And that seriously made me tear up, because just knowing that I made such an impact on just a few little girls' lives literally makes me want to cry. So who knows, maybe one day they will be NFL cheerleaders too and go back and teach little girls just like them. So after the kids clinic, that's when we had our unit tours, which honestly was one of the highlights of the trip. I got to sit in an F-16 fighter pilot jet, and that was so cool. Like, we had this ladder to get up in it, and they're like, don't touch anything. So I'm literally like trying to plop down into the seat to like take a picture, and we got to stand on the wing, and it was just so cool to see that close. And then we also got to tour the K9 unit on base, which was also really cool. I put on the like bite jacket and had the dog bite my arm, which I didn't think that I would do going into it, but then I was like, I have to say yes to everything. Like, I'm here. When am I ever gonna be in Japan again on a military base? Literally never. So yes, that was the best experience, and I'll insert a video of me getting bit right here. But anyways, on these tours, a big thing is them handing out or trading different coins and patches. So I got a lot of gifts. So I thought it'd be cool to just show you guys a little bit of what I got. So the first unit was like the fighter squad, I think they called themselves, the 14th fighter gen squad or something. And they gifted us these beanies, and like this is their sign. I don't know if it's forward or back, but whenever they take a picture or pose up, they're like, so I thought this was super cool. And then we got these stickers, and they just say, send us your champions, 14th fighter gen squad. So super cool. And then lastly, there's just a patch that goes with it. So this next patch, I don't know where I got it. I think it might have already been in the stocking, but this is for the snow team. So I don't know if I mentioned this, but I was in Misawa, so it was the Misawa Air Force Base, and it's actually known as the snowiest base, so that was pretty cool. It snows there more than it does in Alaska, so that's kind of a fun fact. It was freezing and it snowed a lot while we were there. I think just an hour north of us, there was like 5 feet of snow or something crazy. So it does snow a lot there. And then the last patch I got was just from the K9 unit, and this one is obviously my favorite because I love puppies, and this was the crazy experience ever, having a dog bite my arm. So these are the best souvenirs, and I'm so grateful for everything they gifted us. Oh wait, and I also got this. This is actually a bottle opener, which is kind of cool. And this one just says the Misawa Air Force Base in Japan. Here's the front of it. I don't know how to show this, the glares. So there's the front of it. And then here's the other side, which I think is so cool. So yeah, so many gifts. And the rest of the night we kind of had off, and it was kind of just free time. So we went to dinner out in off base, and we went to, I wish I knew the names of these places, but I don't. But where we ate dinner, we actually had to take off our shoes and then they handed us towels to like wash our hands. And I don't know, that was just, I've never experienced anything like that before, so that was very different for me. And the food the entire trip was so good. I mean, it was mainly just like raw fish and rice and ramen. So if that's not really your vibe, I don't know if you should go to Misawa, Japan. But I mean, I'm very adventurous with food and stuff, and I thought it was good. Half the time I don't even know what I was eating, but it was all good. So, and then the next day was a full free day. So we went to the fish market, which was very unique to see. There were a bunch of, it kind of just reminded me of like an indoor farmer's market. There were just a bunch of different vendors. And what I thought was super unique is that Misawa is not a very touristy spot. So we kind of stood out in the area. I mean, I think they're used to seeing some Americans because the base is right there, and a lot of families live on or right off base. But since this fish market was like, I think it was like 45 minutes away, they don't see as many Americans. So like you could kind of tell that we were standing out from the crowd. And a lot of people were like, who are they? Why are they here? And which I love places like that. I love the non-touristy spots. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love a good touristy experience, but sometimes it's cool to just be with all the locals. So then after the fish market, we went to a shrine, which probably was the highlight of this day for me, and maybe of the trip, because I've never seen anything like that before, and it was just kind of cool to learn about the process and prayer. And then on our way home back to base, we did stop by a 7-Eleven. And I did do a little bit of shopping. So I got a lot of candy, which I haven't tried yet. I've been waiting to like taste test it with someone, but maybe I'll just have to do it on my own. Oh, wait, I forgot to show this. This is what I got from the shrine. Me and the other girls, Peyton and Whitney, who I was on tour with, we got these little charm things. And this is supposed to bring like good luck and fortune for girls, because it has a little girl on it and it's pink. So I don't know, I really wanted to get a souvenir from there, but I didn't know what a lot of it meant, and a lot of it was confusing. But the lady said that this was supposed to bring good luck for girls, so I need to hang this up somewhere special. But anyway, back to my candy haul that I want to give. I don't know what any of this candy is. I kind of just bought it based off the packaging and like what looked funny, or yeah, like I just basically just picked it off of what the packaging looked like, which I'm a marketing major or marketing girl. I should know that that doesn't always mean anything, but packaging still gets me. So the first thing, which I thought was very intriguing, is this fish thing. It kind of looks like a wafer thing with something inside of it, and it's strawberry flavored. I don't know, this one really stood out to me, and there was another flavor that was already picked over, but I still wanted to try it. So, and I like strawberries, so I think it will be good, hopefully. Next thing I think are these just brown cookie things. I think those are what they look like. But again, the packaging was so cute to me, so that's why I got it. I wish I knew what these things said, because I'm not really good at describing, but this is, I don't even know who this is. This isn't Pikachu. Who is this? God. Well, I just thought she looked cute. And the gummy things look like they're like filled with something. So I kind of got a lot. And I think gummy candy is kind of popular over there. So then I got these, which I don't think that I'm gonna like, but they looked pretty. So that's why I got it. They're like crystal-y type things and a gummy. So, and then the last thing is just this big chocolate bar. So it says big. It's the only thing I can read. So no, super big, so yeah, go look at my TikTok, because I will definitely film a TikTok right after this of me trying everything. Oh wait, but I also did one other fun thing at the 7-Eleven. So there was this thing where you could like pick out a card, and it was kind of like a scratch off thing, and then you got like a mystery prize. So obviously we did that, and I'll insert a picture of what we got. Peyton and I got these little like bag things. They almost look like lunch boxes. And then Whitney, she got like a rug. So that's kind of random, but like there were so many different prizes. Like you could have gotten like a suitcase, makeup pouches, the rugs, I'm kind of forgetting what else, but there was a bunch of like cute things that were like this theme. So, and then just the rest of the night we kind of chilled and got dinner at another place that I obviously don't know the name of, but it was another restaurant where we had to take off our shoes and sit on the floor. So that was very interesting, but the food was amazing there. Got all these like boats of sushi. I had no idea really what they were, but what I was eating was good, so that's all that matters. The rest of the night we just had a chill night because we were all exhausted. The time change, I think just with my adrenaline stuff, I didn't feel it too bad during the day, but once we were done with dinners and stuff, I was so tired. I was like, I just need to go to bed. So then the next morning it was Super Bowl Sunday, or in our case it was Super Bowl Monday. Our Super Bowl party started at 8:30 a.m., which was a very crazy experience. On base, they had a watch party in their ballroom gala area. So they had the game on this big projector, and during commercials or timeouts or whatever, they were doing giveaways, and we were just walking around signing our little poster cards and taking pictures and just interacting with everyone, which was a lot of fun and definitely a different experience, nothing that I've experienced before. And then right before halftime is when we performed, which was one of the craziest performances because it was very weird, it just being the three of us, and then all three of us are obviously from different teams, so we all have like different styles, but I think we meshed very well and like kind of complemented each other. We all have different strengths, but like it worked well. So I honestly loved it. Like I looked back at the video, I'm like, okay. But yeah, after the Super Bowl, which I thought was kind of a very boring game. I mean, I obviously wasn't watching it, but the parts that I did watch, I was kind of like, this was kind of boring. Such a low scoring game, but go Seahawks. That's who I was kind of rooting for because my tour manager, Gina, she was on the Seahawks for 4 years. But anyway, after the game, we just had kind of the rest of the day to ourselves, but we took that time to just take a bunch of content and get all of our pictures and different things and kind of just chill out before dinner. And for dinner, we got ramen, which was honestly one of my favorite meals of the entire trip. I don't know, maybe it was because it was different than sushi. I kind of had sushi every other night, and the ramen was a good change. Just the rest of the night we had free to ourselves, so me and the other girls, we just kind of hung out in the hotel room, bonded, and got to know each other more, got to learn about our different teams and like the differences, which was very cool to learn about. Because I don't know much about any other teams besides the Bengals, so it was kind of interesting to hear about the different like audition processes or what they do on game days, and like there's a lot of differences across the league. And then yeah, it was the next day, and that's sadly the day we had to go home. So we started the morning off going to a breakfast place, and we got matcha, which that was like one of the main things I wanted to try while in Japan. I don't really love matcha here in the United States, but I have heard that matcha in Japan is really good, and I can confirm that was very good matcha. I just got like the plain regular vanilla one, and then my friend Peyton, she got like the strawberry one. Both of them so good. So if you ever go to Japan, make sure you get some matcha. And then we sadly had to say our goodbyes at the airport. Luckily we got some more souvenirs. We got our matching Japan shirts, which we were looking for the whole entire trip, but we found them in the airport, no worries. And then yeah, we had to board our flights to go home. I was lucky and I had my layover with a bunch of other NFL cheerleaders, so literally for 2 hours we just sat at a restaurant and chatted some more. I was with other cheerleaders from teams that I wasn't necessarily on tour with, so that was cool to meet them and chat with them. And then also on my flight home, my 14-hour flight back to the United States, I had the whole road to myself, so I got to lay down and sleep like the entire flight. But yeah, that pretty much sums up my trip to Japan. This was seriously the best trip of my entire life. Like, I will never forget. Like, I'm starting to tear up literally talking about it again. Like, that was seriously the best experience of my entire life so far, and I am just so grateful that I had this opportunity to go. I know that that was a once-in-a-lifetime trip, and I will never take it for granted. I will hold these memories and these new friendships with me forever. And yeah, I can't wait to go visit my new besties. So yeah, I know this was long of me just like literally yapping, but if you watch this whole video, I love you, and let me know what other videos you'd like to see. Bye.